Hello, welcome to Enu Cultural Forum where we promote the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people. In case today is your first time of coming across our videos, please subscribe to our channel and be sure to enjoy very beautiful and intriguing videos that promote Igbo culture and tradition. Today we are going to look at a very interesting story from Issele-Azagba. We're going to look at the monarchical system of Issele-Azagba, brought to you by none other than the indigenes of Issele-Azagba. We're going to watch the indigenes of Issele-Azagba dissect how the kingship stool of the community is rotated from one family to another. It is actually rotated in a tripartite form. From one family to another, there are three families that are actually vested with the power to take up the mantle of leadership in Issele-Azagba. Issele-Azagba is located very close to Issele-Ukwu, and they are both in Anyocha North local government area of Delta State. Issele-Azagba is not also very far from Onitsha and Asaba. In fact, Issele-Azagba has undergone what you can call conurbation, such that some people live in Issele-Azagba, but they are assumed to be living in Asaba, since Issele-Azagba, Okpanam, Okwe, Oko, and all the surrounding communities, as well as Ubolu and all other surrounding communities of Asaba, have become part or are listed as part of the Delta State Capital Territory. Enjoy watching this video.
I come from Uboma Dynasty. Uboma was the king between 1905 and 1960 and 1941, when he passed on to join his ancestors. Obidabo II entered and seated on the throne. He eventually died in 1962. That gave room to Umojago. Like I told you, we have three ruling houses in Issele-Azagba: Umojago, Obonicha, and Idumuago, where I happens to come from. I said earlier, these two other ruling families haven't taken their turn in the last 6 decades. It is now the turn of Idumuago, and like you know, it is within the Idumuago family that the kingmakers has to bring forth somebody who becomes a candidate of the throne. And incidentally, the last Obele of Issele-Azagba, Chief Okadike Wazua Sondo Wandolo, it is the duty of the Obele and to chalk the would-be Obi, and that's the process. That's the beginning of the process, and Obele did that before he passed on.
Well, it's rotational. It's rotational because I met the last ruler when that one died when I was 9 years, and then the other one that died last year, that one ruled for 50-something years. So I think it's rotational. Everybody in Issele-Azagba knows it's rotational, except when they don't want to tell you the truth.
I've seen two monarchs at Issele-Azagba. That is Obi, James Idabo, and Obi Francis Nigeria the second. Obi Idabo is from Oboto. when he died, it came to the turn of Mojago, then Francis Obije II was enthroned as the Obi of Issele-Azagba. Now, by virtue of my working with the late Obi, I had a passion for his son. When after his demise, I had a passion that the son will become the next Obi. Then eventually, when I saw a document that my late father signed, that Obiship in Issele-Azagba rotates between Oboto and Ikem, and the quarters are three that will be enthroned as the Obi of Issele-Azagba. Umojago and Ikem, in Oboto it was Obo Onitsha and Nwago. I saw the declaration when my late father signed that that declaration is also registered at Ancestral local government, not Ancestral North, Ancestral local government at the workshop. Then I saw the truth and surrendered.
Came back to Issele-Azagba after the Civil War. My father was a legitimate son of Issele-Azagba, Umubi in Umubi. I'm very close to my father. He told me a lot of things. So he told me that we had Ubiadi, Umome, and after his death, we had Islaba before original, and it was understandable. The late Obi was in the north when he was asked to come back. It was just like an agreement that, come, take up this Obi thing, and if he finishes, it's rotational. It has to go back to where it began. And it has been like that. My father kept on repeating that until he died. At times when I come home from Lagos, if we're talking, if he's telling me some histories apart from Obi thing, because I'm very inquisitive, I will always ask him, what is this, what is that, why are they doing this? He'll be explaining to me.
Kingship at Issele-Azagba is rotational, because I met Obi Idabo before he died in 1962, where the Obi Judowa take over the throne. As I know that Obi Idabo is from Oboto side. Then Obi Judowa is from Omoeno, that he came side of Issele-Azagba. And since then, we have something in there, where people take title, where Iken side take from Obi Judowa, while the Obot people take from Idabo and Obi Ubome. The Obi Ubome was, since I didn't meet that one, but I met Obi Idabo. So this shows that the rotation of kingship of Issele-Azagba, which Ikem people were their own side, where Ogbot are two sides from Idomuago quarter and their Ogbonicha quarter. That's what I know about the kingship.
No, there couldn't have been any opposition from any other ruling family. I can tell you without fear of favor, the late Obi Dabo had all his tastes. He has the capacity to have brought any of his son to succeed him, but he didn't do that. There was what do I call it now, that he wrote in 1944, which he titled the Argus. He was writing to the then Obi Ebuna of Issele-Okwu, Obi the Okpoku of Issele-Mpitima. He titled the Argus, the Declaration. He said, I have always known that the bishop of Issele-Azagba is always rotational, and I will not do anything to endanger the rotation ship, either by my wealth or by my position. Like I said, he has all the capacity to have installed his son. Even my family then couldn't have been in a position to challenge it if he had done so. His first son, Obiesia, was already a permanent secretary as back as 1954 in the then Eastern Region government. His second son had already graduated from Forabe University. That's the father of Uzede Dabo. He has already graduated from Forabe University. Then his third son was a renowned tailor. They were making the suits that was in vogue then in Onitsha. So he had the capacity, he has the money, he has the wealth. He would have asked any of his son, please sit on the throne. Nobody, if the past would be, nobody would have had the resources to challenge him. Considering his Obi Dabo the first, his role in the Ekumeku War, it translates beyond Aniocha. They were the people who deal with the whites. That was why at the end of the Ekumeku War, the Ekumeku War had not even ended when the Oyibos, they came, took him to Calabar, which he never returned.
Because he was rich and educated, if he wanted to hijack it, he would have done it, but it's not practicable here. We don't do it here. It will sound strange to me. It is strange to me. I've not had it before, because my father, the local historian, he told me all this, that this rotation now.
You don't need to look for facts, because like I said, Obi Dabo was a learned person. If he had wanted, from what I saw, if he had wanted, because he's the most educated person as at that time, if he had wanted to conserve it to himself, keep it, nobody would have gotten it. But to the best of his knowledge, and because he's not selfish, he went into dialoguing and saying, this is how it has to be. So that since it is not only Oboto that has the authority or the right, okay, let it go to that side, after which it has to return to where it started. That's the original owners. So I've seen, even at Issele-Okwu place, there are documents.
No, by all standards, Obi Dabo was at that time the most educated, the richest also in the town. If anything, he would have seized the throne, and nobody would have challenged him. You know what? Dare not have challenged him. But because he knows that this will be protest between Ikem and Oboto. So the children also know this, and they never bothered.
Yes, they have the power to retain the kingship because he's doing well in kingship, but he trained his children, but because it's rotational, that's why he gives chance for the other side to rule. He retired as an agriculture. The Obi, as I know, the father of that one was taken to Calabar, where as a child he joined him to the Calabar, where the government trained him there before he come back. So I feel that is why I know you have the children well doing. But if we want to take the kingship, I will have gone take the kingship because it's well to do.
Hello, I hope you enjoyed the video. You will also find a video we did of the documentary of the history of Issele-Ukwu. Please find the link in our bio and also find time to watch the video. Thank you and see you in our next video.